I am your father.
So I was wondering, what if Batman threw Pokeballs instead of Batarangs? Or if if Piccolo trained a Charmander instead of Gohan?
Are you ready, Gohan? Do you think you have what it takes to move on to the next level of training? Good. With an attitude like that, you just might make it.
Today, we're diving into the ultimate crossover, ranking other characters on how well they would do as Pokemon trainers. Who will rise to champion status? And who will get zapped by Pikachu before their first gym battle? And to do that, we're going to be breaking down what it means to be a Pokemon trainer into 5 measurable traits. And those 5 traits are strategy and battle acumen, bonding and empathy, determination and resilience, knowledge and resourcefulness, and leadership and charisma. These will help us determine our ranking, and this wheel will help us determine our characters. So let's spin the wheel and see who we get. Looks like we got Saitama, Mr. One Punch Man himself. Let's see how good of a Pokemon trainer he'll be. First up is strategy. Pokemon trainers rely on planning, using type advantages, predicting moves, and building balanced teams. Saitama, on the other hand, relies on raw power. He usually wins in one punch without much thought, like with Vaccine Man in the first episode. Even longer fights, like Boros, lack real strategy. He just outlasts them. He does show some instincts, like spotting Garu's weakness, but overall, strategy isn't his strength, so he's going to get a 4 out of 10 for this one. Next is bonding. Great trainers connect with their Pokemon through empathy and loyalty. Saitama's bored and apathetic on the surface, but he does show subtle care, like protecting Genos or bonding with King. He values those close to him even if he's not emotional about it. Still, his disinterest in everyday life might make it hard to meet every Pokemon's needs. With the right team though, he can manage. I give him a 6 out of 10. Determination is key for trainers, handling losses, rivals, and long journeys. This is Saitama's strongest trait. Before his powers, he trained non-stop for 3 years through pain and zero progress. Now, even bored and unmatched, he never slacks on hero work. As a trainer, he'd travel non-stop, train hard, and push through any loss without hesitation. His resolve is rock solid. 9 out of 10. Trainers need to understand types and moves and adapt to tough situations. Saitama's not exactly a scholar. He passed the hero exam with strength, not smarts, and rarely studies his enemies or surroundings. He's more curious about grocery sales than battle strategy. Still, he's resourceful when needed, so he could improvise, but expect trial and error over type charts. I give him a 5 out of 10 for smarts. Leadership is key for trainers, motivating teams and building reputation. Saitama's charisma is unconventional. He's plain, often mocked, and avoids the spotlight, but despite that, he inspires characters like Genos and Moomin Rider just by being himself. As a trainer, his calm confidence could connect with certain Pokemon, though his lack of flair might not work for all. He leads by action, not words, but his obsession with staying unknown limits his influence. He gets a 6 out of 10 for this one. That gives us a total score of 30 for Saitama. And that means Saitama just makes it into A rank as a Pokemon trainer. Let's spin the wheel and see who we get next. Next up we have Goku, the strongest Saiyan. Let's see how he measures up. Goku is a skilled and adaptable fighter, but his strategy is often reactive. While he's capable of tactical moves, like when he used Kaioken in his fight against Vegeta, he usually relies on instinct and raw power, like unlocking Super Saiyan through emotion rather than any thoughtful process. He'd adapt mid-battle and likely push his team to evolve, possibly even unlocking new evolutions, because that's what Goku does, and it earns him a 7 out of 10 for strategy. Goku inspires loyalty through kindness and trust, forming bonds with even former enemies like Piccolo, Vegeta, and Frieza, kind of. His playful warmth and optimism would make him great at nurturing Pokemon. While his obsession with battle might limit connections with non-combat types, he'd still treat his teams as partners, fostering strong loyalty and earning a strong 9 out of 10. Goku's determination is unmatched. He trains relentlessly, grows stronger after every loss, and even trains in the afterlife. In the Pokemon world, he'd take on gyms again and again, never giving up on his team. His resilience and growth through setbacks make him a perfect fit. 10 out of 10. Goku learns through experience, not study. He masters techniques through training, but rarely analyzes opponents in detail. He'd grasp type matchups quickly, but struggle with technical aspects like EVs and IVs. His instincts and creativity earn him a solid 7 out of 10. Goku's charisma is infectious, inspiring allies with his confidence and cheerful spirit. He leads by example, not strategy, often acting solo. While his laid-back style might limit team coordination or impressing gym leaders, his enthusiasm would still motivate his Pokemon. 8 out of 10. And now we can total up the scores, and Goku has a total of 41. And that puts him in... And with a total score of 41, that puts Goku into S rank as a Pokemon trainer. And let's see who we get next. And we got everyone's favorite wall crawler, web slinger, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So let's break down his stats. Spider-Man is a sharp strategist, using agility, web slinging, and a quick wit to outmaneuver stronger foes. He's outsmarted enemies like Lizard and escaped danger under pressure as seen in Amazing Spider-Man number 33. With his spider sense and adaptability, he'd build a versatile team and use tight matchups well. His tendency to improvise over long-term planning brings him to an 8 out of 10. Spider-Man's empathy is a core strength shaped by guilt over Uncle Ben's death. He regrets hurting others, even under the symbiote's influence, showing deep emotional awareness. His kindness and ability to connect with outcasts would earn strong loyalty from Pokemon. While his double life might cause some neglect, his compassion earns him a 9 out of 10. With great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man's resilience in a nutshell. Whether facing overwhelming odds or personal loss, he never gives up. Despite setbacks like financial struggles and losing Gwen Stacy, he keeps fighting. In Pokemon, he'd train hard, face challenges head-on, and always bounce back. His unyielding spirit earns a 9 out of 10. As a science prodigy, Peter Parker excels at analysis and invention, creating his own web shooters and curing all kinds of bizarre mutations. He'd quickly master type charts, move synergies, and terrain strategies. While his focus on logic over instinct slightly limits his adaptability, his intelligence and creativity earn him another 9 out of 10. Spider-Man's charisma comes from his humor and relatability. His quips could boost morale, and while he's capable of inspiring others, he's more of a lone hero with quiet leadership. In Pokemon, he'd unite a team through actions, not speeches, but his self-reliance might limit his ability to manage a large roster or impress gym leaders. His wit and influence earn him a 7 out of 10. And now we'll total up all these scores, and Spider-Man gets a 42 total score. And with a total score of 42, that puts Spider-Man also into S rank. And now it's time to see who we're gonna get next. And it is Shrek, the big green ogre of the swamp, the All-Star. Shrek relies on brute strength and improvisation, as seen in the tournament fight and castle raid scenes. He'd do fine with physical matchups and shows some battle instinct through environmental awareness, but he lacks strategic depth. While he might adapt mid-fight, top-tier opponents like Cynthia would be a challenge. A solid 6 out of 10. Shrek's gruff exterior hides strong empathy and loyalty. He bonds with Donkey despite the annoyance, and his love for Fiona shows an ability to connect with misunderstood souls. He'd bond well with like-minded Pokemon, though his reluctance to socialize might slow connections with high-maintenance ones. His devotion shines through. 8 out of 10. Shrek's resilience shines in the face of rejection and danger. He defies villagers, Farquaad, and even Fiona to reclaim his swamp and win her love. In Shrek 2, he endures humiliation to save his marriage. He trained hard, faced gyms head-on, and bounced back from losses. His perseverance is solid, but his modest goals bring him to an 8 out of 10. Shrek may lack academic knowledge, but he's resourceful. He outsmarts obstacles with quick thinking, like distracting the dragon or sneaking into the castle. His swamp life shows strong environmental instincts. He'd struggle with type charts and EVs, but learn through experience. Solid instincts, but limited curiosity. 7 out of 10. Shrek's charisma comes from his authenticity. He earns Donkey's loyalty, wins Fiona's heart, and rallies allies when it matters. Though a reluctant leader, his sincerity could motivate Pokemon. Still, his gruffness and love for solitude limit his impact on larger teams. His actions speak louder than flair. 7 out of 10. And now we'll total all these up to get his total score of 36, and that will put Shrek into A rank. And now it's time to spin the wheel and see who we get next. And we get Sung Jinwoo, solo leveling's Shadow Monarch. Jinwoo excels at strategy, outsmarting ambushes and exploiting enemy weaknesses, like in the Demon King's castle. His shadow powers mirror Pokemon battles with mid-fight team swaps. He'd build a balanced team, master type matchups, and adapt under pressure as seen in his fight with Egress. Though he sometimes leans on raw power, his tactical skills earns a 9 out of 10. Jinwoo's empathy stems from his desire to protect loved ones, risking his life for his mother and showing deep care for his sister and Juno. Even his shadows reflect strong loyalty. While his focus on solo growth makes him a bit aloof early on, he'd warm up and form deep bonds over time. An 8 out of 10. Jinwoo's determination is unmatched, rising from weakest to strongest through relentless training and surviving near-death quests. His 27-year war with the Monarchs prove he can endure extreme hardship. In Pokemon, he trained non-stop, face any challenge, and bounce back from every loss. A perfect 10 out of 10. Jinwoo's resourcefulness is amplified by the system, strategically allocating stat points to boost his strength. His adaptability and environmental awareness stand out, and while not a scholar, he learns quickly through the system. Exceptional overall, but his reliance on it brings him to a 9 out of 10. Jinwoo's leadership grows from lone fighter to commanding general. His Shadow Army's loyalty and his ability to rally hunters on Jeju Island show his quiet charisma. As Shadow Monarch, he earns global respect, though his coldness towards enemies limits broader appeal. Strong presence and loyalty earn him an 8 out of 10. And now with that, we'll add all these up and get Jinwoo's total score of 44. And with a score of 44, that puts Jinwoo in S rank. And that's going to be it for this one. If you have any thoughts on the rankings or any input to add, let me know in the comments. If you have any characters you would like to see added to the wheel, again, let me know in the comments. I'll add them to the wheel. If this video gets enough likes, enough views, I'll do another one, and we'll run through some different characters in the random wheel and see what we get and how they stack up as Pokemon trainers. And yeah, if you haven't already, please go like, subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers in 2025, and any help is really appreciated. And yeah, that'll be it. I'll see you in the next one. Have a day.